Hey, MVP here. Hope you had a good trading week. This is Saturday, the 26th of February. Going to talk about the week just ended, 25th. Just a quick reminder, here I am, MVP. I'm at trade2win, t2w.com, and I'm on the best thread. It's called the best thread. It's just a thread that's had a lot of viewings and has been going for a long time and has quite a lot of stars against it, so it's called the best thread. It's called Correlation Trading, Basic Ideas and Strategies, and that incorporates strength meters. Just to remind you again, let's drop all the way down to whatever my latest post is. Yesterday, Friday, about 6,187. That's not all me, but it's not bad. I'm over 5,000 posts here now as I bore people to death with my trades. At the bottom there of each of my particular posts, you'll see the signature area, and have a look at those. They encompass some of my thoughts about the G8 family of currencies that I trade, where to get hold of the basic indicator. There's also a nice triple arrow version that's available, and also a much more summarized bite-sized rules of combat, again where to get them, and some scalping on the 5 minutes there, another comment. So please by all means go there, have a look round and ask any questions on that site. Okay, so that's where I am. Okay, let's have a quick run through the trading week as it happened. I'm going to use three charts. You should be familiar with these now. On the left, I'm going to use two FX correlators with the tag team in bold, the dollar and the yen there, the yen in yellow, and it's on a 1 hour. This is on a 1 hour chart, and we're going to run the top chart on an 80 moving average. Go to my site for details. And we're going to run the bottom on a 20 moving average. Okay, go to my site for details. We're also going to look at the 1 hour chart, but on a 500 setting. You see up there, 500. That's a 500 moving average. That gives you much more of a feel for actual price movement. You're not talking about deviations or comparisons to lower moving averages here where you're looking for trends. This shows you as it is. If the line goes up, currency is going up. If it falls, it's falling. And it's pretty obvious there's been some big movements this week. Last but not least, here's the 1 hour US 30, that's the Dow. I use the Dow to give me direction and idea. It's the Dow futures, so it's running 24 hours a day. And again, you know, we're going to look through that, okay? So they're the three that I'm going to talk about right now. Okay, let's go to the middle chart first of all, and let's talk about what was hot and what was not this week. First of all, we're going to talk about the big movers, the currencies that really made some money this week. Okay, for anybody that's been hiding under a rock for the last couple of weeks, as we know, there's a lot of global unrest in the Middle East area. Just about anything and everything going off, and what that means is that we've had a big spike in US oil. This is the oil price now. I think this is tagged to Western Texan Intermediate. I'm not exactly sure, but as you can see, it's been a big week. This is the week, and we got up towards the 104 on US oil, as it's called. I don't think that's Brent. I think Brent's another one, but they're always running very, very close to one another, the two big markets for oil prices and where people think oil price is. So as you can see, big run up from the week before and a big spike in the week. People are running scared. They're buying oil, and that has a lot to do with some of the things that have happened this week. So I'm going to come off of that chart now and talk a little more about my more standard indicators. The market actually got jittery, as you can see. This is the week's Dow, and the Dow was down. Monday was President's Day, so technically there was no trading, but you still have the futures market, which obviously gave a very early indication of what the market was going to open at on Tuesday, and down. People were running scared. Okay, tell me what happens when people run scared in this market, the market of the G8. What tends to happen, as anybody knows who's been around this market a bit, is people will run towards what they call safe haven currencies. They're going to go there and they're going to hide until everything's safe to come out again. Now, traditionally, there's three currencies that provide that safety at the moment. There is the grey Swissy, and that certainly did well this week. People piled into the Swissy. The other currency people will run to is the yen, and there's the ren there, and that's also what they call unwinding carry trades. The last but not least is usually the US dollar. The US dollar has also been a preferred haven in more recent times, given its global position in the markets. But not this week, as you can see. It's not in bold as one of my top three risers. It didn't happen. There's been, a lot of bad news coming out of the States recently in the Fed. They have a very high deficit position, and you know what? People are not as trustworthy of that currency anymore as they used to. Defaults could happen, and they're not convinced. They like the yen, and they like the Swissy. Those countries, in terms of the nationals, the national people, the people that live there, they've got a lot of home deposits, and they brought them all home to look after things. Euro had a good week as well. I'm not necessarily saying that it trends exactly with the Swissy, but these guys tend to walk the same path. A few rumours around some interest rates potentially, I think early to midweek, and again that hasn't done it any harm. So the Euro had a good week, but it certainly wasn't anything to do with safe havens. Okay, let's have a look at the ones that didn't deliver this week and were the dogs. Okay, if I had to take 3 out of the 8 there, I'd pick the 3 you see in bold. I'd see sterling in red, I'd see the orange Aussie dollar, and I'd certainly see the turquoise blue New Zealand dollar this week as the dog sells. In terms of the worst hit of the week, it was probably the New Zealand dollar. You know what? I'm not exactly sure why that happened. I think it was just standing there with the parcel in its hand when the music stopped. Clearly, if people are running towards more lower yielding and safer havens, they've got to take their money out of somewhere. And it really caught that. The Aussie dollar caught that as well, probably some of that backlash, but it did try and pick up towards the end, the same as the Kiwi did. In terms of the pound, hey, there was a little bit of bad economic news came out during the week. And also, you have to remember the pound's had a great run last few weeks. So, again, it might have been profit taking. Again, everyone was taking the pain off the Swissy and primarily the yen and to a certain degree the euro. So, it's a zero-sum game, and these were the losers for those reasons. Okay, last but not least leaves our two North American colleagues there, the purple CAD and the green dollar. Now, interestingly, with all these oil prices thumping around, you would have thought that CAD would have done better this week. But if you look at the start to the end, it's had quite a swinging week and it's starting to pick up again. But actually, out of interest, it was not as great as people think. People tell me, you know, that oil price goes up, CAD's got to go up. Well, not necessarily. You know what? I'd back the correlation between the CAD and the US dollar more than the combination or the correlation between the CAD and oil prices, but that's just my take on things. So I actually think that perhaps if oil hadn't been so strong in the week, I think that the CAD could have been hammered more, and it could have actually been below the dollar here in terms of what happened. The dollar it did lose during the week, but it was relatively flat for most of the week, losing the back end of the week again, as we said. It should have been rising, but people are not as convinced about the safe haven nature of the dollar as they used to be, so it didn't catch some of that love that some of the other currencies I've talked about were happening, so it happened pretty flat. So those are the two that were flat to neutral during the week. Okay, now to finish off, we're going to pull across the infamous FX correlator. This is for the week here on the settings that I've just explained in this video, and we're going to compare it to the Dow as well. And let's just see where the 1 hour chart would have been telling us to buy and sell and where we would have made our money. Rules are very, very simple. You get the two tag team guys, the US dollar and the yen, get them on the same side on both charts, and then sell or buy anything that's on the opposing side, yeah? And you trade it. You trade it until it bleeds, until it comes out of that position. As I said, first half of the week, really, I was looking, well, the first 4 days of the week, because Dow was so awful, including the futures day on Monday when they were closed, I was really looking for buy opportunities, and I was saying that all during the week, the first 4 days, really we're waiting to buy the tag and sell the rest of the G6. So come Monday, that signal certainly wasn't there, not on the 80s, it was below the line. Very funny old day Monday because there was no true motion from the biggest equity market in the world. But as you can see, as soon as those lights flicked on and we were trading and we had more activity going on, especially in the second half, you can see first opportunities to trade there. Both of the guys are above, and you can see the currencies below the line that were some great sales. So there's a tick coming in there for that particular area. So Tuesday was a great day, and it held. It came out a little bit. Look how it came again towards the end. So Tuesday, great trading day, as you can see, falling Dow, rising tag. So that was a great trading day for you all, hopefully. Wednesday was very frustrating. As you can see, here's my little tick box. So plenty of buying. We're just looking for buy on the tag team. And the 80 did oblige. You know, the dollar came off. The dollar was weak. We've already been talked about why the dollar wasn't as strong as it should have been. And unfortunately, because of that, we couldn't force the damn thing up with the yen that was as strong as it goes. Look at the 80. It was strong all day. So every time the tag popped up, or sorry, the yen popped up, that was when we were looking to pile in. And look at that damn dollar. It would not come up all day on Wednesday. So technically, there were no trades. So sit on your hand time, sit on your hands, especially on the 1 hour. Obviously, 5 minutes is going to give you more trading signals. Okay, Thursday. Again, Big sells still going. Obviously starting to become very, very volatile now, but there was still, technically, we were below the 20 and the 80 moving average. So for me, I'm looking to sell the Dow, which obviously isn't a selling position, and buy the tag team. And look again, how frustrating. The dollar now is just not coming back. It's made its decision that it's not going to be one of the favored currencies in the week. The yen is sitting there as proud as punch. It was above the line all day, and it was virtually above the line all day on the 20s. And you could have been quite happily buying yen against anything else pretty much, but not the combination I was looking for. So again, very frustrating day on the 1 hours, no trades. Okay, Friday last but not least, we actually saw in the overnight's forming there that the Dow started to retrace upwards and got into the what I call the kind of transitional period between the two moving averages. So for me, I will take generally any signals I see over here, regardless of whether the Dow's up or down. Once I get up here above both moving averages, I'll be really looking, because the Dow is a buy signal, I'll be looking to sell the tag team here primarily, the same as I've been doing the opposite all today. During this transitional period, I'll take whatever I can get. That's the way I tend to look at it now. So I had the yen above, the dollar below, and look at that all day. So technically, there were no trades. You could technically have taken a trade here when you had on the 20-minute, the 20 moving average there. The two guys were above the line, and you had at least one up here. But you know what? It's still not perfect. It's still not perfect. I really want these guys all aligned. So even on the 1 hour chart on Friday, it was a pain. Okay, not so many signals this week, I'm afraid. This is MVP signing off. Have a great weekend and have a great trading week next week. Cheers.